Coming up, the best moments of the 2018 pro cycling season. At the start of 2018, Peter Sagan had won over 100 professional cycling races, but only one of those was a monument, the 2016 Tour of Flanders. However, he doubled that tally in April by winning Paris-Roubaix, and didn't he do it in style? Attacking with over 50 kilometres to go and sailing away to the victory in the Velodrome.
He can't afford to make a mistake here, but I'll tell you what, this man is still very, very alert. He's got to dive on him now, because through the inside goes the world champion Peter Sagan. It's 37 years since a world champion won this race. That was Bernard Hinault, and now it's Peter Sagan.
Next up, we've got John Degenkolb's victory from stage 9 of this year's Tour de France. His biggest win since a near career-ending crash at a training camp in 2016, and how fitting that he took it over the cobbles of Paris-Roubaix, a race that he won back in 2015. I don't think there was anybody who was upset to see him take that one. There have been two shining stars of the women's pro peloton this year, the Dutch duo of Anna van der Breggen and Annemiek van Vleuten. And the two came up against each other at La Course in July this year. It looked like Van der Breggen was odds-on favourite after dropping her rival on the final mountain of the day, but an incredible display of resilience and determination saw Van Vleuten claw her way back and go past Van der Breggen just before the finish line, in what was arguably the best finish of any bike race this year.
Attention, Annemiek van Vleuten qui revient, c'est pas possible, et qui dépose Anna van der Breggen.
Unbelievable, with 300 meters to go, I still thought I got second. And then I saw her dying, and to win like this, yeah, tough ride, but beautiful.
Nobody wants to be the first person to crash at the Tour de France, but that is exactly what befell Lawson Craddock on stage 1 this year. He soldiered, or shouldered, onto the finish, where subsequent x-rays revealed he fractured his scapula. The end of his race, you would have thought, but not so. He went on to finish the next stage, and the next, and the next, and actually managed to finish the whole race in Paris. And in doing so, he raised a whopping $280,000 to go towards the Alkek Velodrome in Houston, which had been badly damaged through Hurricane Harvey. Stage 16 of this year's tour was memorable for completely different reasons. A farmer protest was broken up by police with the use of tear gas which then blew back into the faces of the riders, so the race then had to be neutralised as the riders dried their eyes out. Thankfully, there were no lasting consequences. The race did eventually resume, and a few hours later, Julian Alaphilippe took his second victory of the race. All eyes were on Chris Froome at this year's Giro d'Italia, but you have to say the first couple of weeks didn't exactly go to plan. And in fact, with 4 stages to go, he was over 3 minutes off the race lead, and it looked like a bit of a lost cause. Until this attack over the highest point of the race, the Colle della Finestre, where he dropped all of his rivals and went off on a solo mission. It was one of the most gripping Grand Tour stages that we've witnessed in recent years, and against all odds, he not only took the stage win, but the race lead.
25! Oh, Chris Froome! Knockout performance!
This year marked the first participation at the Tour de France for Colombia's Fernando Gaviria, and it couldn't have got off to a better start. First stage win, first yellow, first green and first white jersey.
On the left hand side, but here comes Kittel as well. It's Gaviria there at the front. Gaviria! It will be Fernando Gaviria on debut. Gaviria, the first man to win on his Tour de France debut since Fabian Cancellara in 2004.
On the lead up to this year's tour, Team Sky announced Geraint Thomas as co-team leader with Chris Froome. None of us believed them. Who were they trying to fool? Thomas was co-leader at Team Sky, and in fact by the time the mountain started in earnest, he'd made a good argument for being the sole leader of the team. Back-to-back wins in the mountain, including one up Alpe d'Huez, surprised everybody, including Thomas himself. However, he couldn't properly celebrate the win until the penultimate day's time trial. And then when he crossed the finish line and caught a glimpse of his wife Sarah, it was all a bit too much, and it brought the Welshman to tears.
Last time I cried was when I got married. And don't know what's happened to me.
You've just won the Tour de France.
This year's Strade Bianche had a little bit of everything. Rain, wind, mud, gravel, and a classic specialist going head-to-head against a Grand Tour contender. And in fact, the mudded faces of Romain Bardet and Tiesj Benoot made the race even more memorable. Ultimately, it would be the Belgian who took the honours, and what a way to win your first professional bike race. And finally, here's George Bennett showing exactly why we love him and our sport of cycling. I absolutely love that clip. A small but generous and touching gesture there from George Bennett. Thanks to Ines Moreno, the mother of the lad who got the bottle there, for sending that clip over to us. So those were our best moments of the 2018 pro cycling season. Don't forget to let us know what yours are in the comment section down below, and any that we've missed out. On the other end of the scale, there are some memorable moments from some idiot spectators. We've got a video all about that from 2018, which you can find just down here.